Okay, let's just dive right in. Imagine you and I are sitting across from each other right now, grabbing a coffee. You're ambitious, you're hungry for success, and you want to know the absolute real secret to building wealth. I mean, we all want to be rich, right? We want more money, more freedom, and just total control over our lives. But you might actually be looking in the wrong places. Because what if I told you there is literally one single skill that could completely change your financial future? I am not talking about getting lucky. I'm not talking about who you know, your connections, or, having a rich uncle. I'm talking about one specific, highly masterable skill. And honestly, the craziest part, most people just completely ignore it. So let me ask you this directly. What actually makes you rich? For years, you've probably been fed a very specific formula. You know the one. Go to school, get a degree, trade your hours for a paycheck, and slowly climb the corporate ladder. Well, we need to completely tear down that myth right now. Trading your time for money is a trap. If you want a massive paradigm shift today, you've got to realize that time is strictly finite. If your income is totally tied to the hours you clock in, there is a literal hard ceiling on what you can achieve. We need to completely rethink what money actually is.
Which brings us to part one, the ultimate wealth secret.
Here is the core truth we need to establish right off the bat. The idea of a safe fixed salary? It's often just an illusion that keeps you boxed in. The big secret is that money itself isn't the goal. Money is simply a byproduct. It's just the result of something else happening first. If you chase money directly, it's going to constantly run away from you. But if you focus on the engine that actually generates it, the money just begins to flow naturally. And that engine? It's value creation. It's simply the ability to solve a problem, make something better, or help someone earn or save money. That's literally it. People do not pay you for your time. They pay you for the value you bring to the table. Think about it. When you buy a cup of coffee, you aren't paying for the 5 minutes the barista spent making it, right? You're paying for the immediate value of waking up and enjoying an awesome drink. You solve a problem, you get paid. And the golden rule here is incredibly simple. The bigger the value you create, the bigger the income you generate. So now that we know the secret, why is it so rare? Well, let's look at part two, the time for money trap. It's honestly eye-opening when you realize most people go their entire lives without ever developing this skill. They stay completely dependent on fixed salaries, anxiously waiting around for a tiny 2% annual raise, just feeling stuck and totally overworked. Why? Because they're focusing all their energy on the absolute wrong things entirely. And there is a massive divide in how people think here. On one side, we have the traditional employee mindset. Just picture a little stick man running completely exhausted on a hamster wheel. This mindset focuses purely on acquiring degrees, chasing fancy job titles, and just following instructions. It's a closed loop. But on the flip side, we have the value creator mindset. Picture that same stick man stepping off the hamster wheel and building a massive lever. This mindset focuses entirely on finding and solving real problems. One is built on effort and compliance. The other, it's built on impact and leverage. Just look at this quote. They don't ask, what problem can I solve? This hits the nail right on the head. This is the fatal flaw in how most of us are trained. We are conditioned from a super young age to sit at a desk, wait for someone to hand us an assignment, do exactly what we are told, and then just wait for a grade or eventually a paycheck. But being trained merely to follow instructions, it severely limits your growth. If you only do what you're told, your value is permanently capped by the person giving you the orders. You just stay stuck. All right, let's break out of that trap. Moving on to part three, value creators in action. I really want to prove to you that value creation isn't just some abstract, boring business school theory. It is the absolute driving force of the entire economy, and it's happening everywhere, every single day, across literally every profession you can think of. Let's translate some standard job titles into actual, tangible value. A designer doesn't just make things look pretty, right? They improve a brand's perception, which builds trust with customers. A marketer doesn't just run ads. They actively increase sales and revenue. A developer builds incredibly useful tools that save companies thousands of hours of manual labor. A teacher simplifies really complex ideas, saving their students years of frustration. In every single one of these examples, generating income is directly tied to solving a specific problem for someone else. But here is where we take it to the absolute next level. If you really want to build massive wealth, you have to introduce this one concept: scale. Help many, earn more. This is literally the game changer. If you solve a problem for one person, you make a living. But if you can solve a problem for 1 million people, well, that's how you build real wealth. You have to find ways to create something just once and then use it to help tons of people simultaneously. Doing this multiplies your earning potential exponentially. And the best part? It doesn't require you to work a million times harder. To pull this off, you need scalable skills. Think about things like content, software, and digital products. Take a software developer, for example. They write a piece of code once, but then millions of people can download and use that app every single day. Or think about creating a digital course or writing a book. You put the heavy effort in up front, you create the value once, and then it just serves people all around the world while you're literally sleeping. This is how you completely shatter the time for money chain. You're no longer trading your hours. You are trading infinitely reproducible value.
All right, theory time is over. We are shifting into action mode right now. Here is part 4, your step-by-step plan.
If I'm your mentor and you're the young entrepreneur eager to make your mark, this is the exact blueprint I am handing you right now to build this wealth-generating skill from the ground up. It's 4 simple steps. Step 1, start simple and learn a useful skill. Pick something people are already actively paying for, out there in the real world. Step 2, apply it immediately. Do not wait until you feel ready or until you have some perfect, polished portfolio. Start solving real problems for real people today. Step 3, improve through market feedback. Forget classroom theory, okay? The market is the fastest, most brutal, and most honest teacher you will ever have. Listen to what works and discard what doesn't. And finally, step 4, focus on outcomes, not effort. Look, nobody cares how hard you worked. They only care if you actually delivered the result.
Which leads us right into a really crucial question. I challenge you to make this your absolute daily mantra. Did I actually create value? Seriously, tape it to your monitor, set it as the lock screen on your phone. Because at the end of the day, your sweating, your stressing, your late night hours, your sheer effort does not pay the bills. Only the value you produce pays the bills. If you answer no to this question at the end of a workday, you need to completely rethink your strategy for tomorrow. And when you start consistently answering yes to that question, you enter part 5, the path to true freedom. This right here is the ultimate endgame. We aren't just talking about buying fancy cars or nice watches. We are talking about absolute, true financial control and independence. We're talking about never having to worry about a massive economic downturn or a terrible boss ever again. Because once you deeply, truly understand value creation, you can apply it literally anywhere. You can use it to negotiate a massive raise at your current job. You can use it to scale a brand new business. You can use it to completely dominate in freelancing or to spot incredible hidden opportunities in investing. This one single skill completely removes your dependence on any single person or company. Think about it. Even if you somehow lost every penny you have tomorrow, you could rebuild completely from scratch. Why? Because you possess the intrinsic knowledge of how to create value again out of thin air. That level of control, that is the true definition of wealth. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Most paths to making money depend on something external, a boss, a good economy, a lucky break. But this skill, it is entirely in your control. If you master it, money simply becomes a byproduct, not a daily stressful struggle. So from this exact moment forward, I want you to completely banish the question, how can I earn more money, from your vocabulary? Toss it out. Instead, replace it with this, how can I create more value? Because the second you make that mental shift, you are no longer just grinding for a paycheck. You are building the unshakable ability to generate wealth anytime, absolutely anywhere. Take that question with you today and go start building.